Hello, Leo. My name is Nigel, and you have found Alchemy. We are going to be doing your June 2024 reading. Before we get started, I'd like to ask a quick question. I'm asking everybody the same thing. These were gifted to me. These are Paw Mystery Dog Edition. Unlock the secrets of your pet's personality. I wanted to know if maybe you wanted to do a pet reading at some point. If you think this is a great idea, please let me know in the comments. If you think this is ridiculously stupid, also let me know in the comments. Okay, that said, let's get started. You overshadowing your whole month here, you do have Capricorn energy, which is the devil. The devil gets a bad rap sometimes. It could be toxic energy. As the reading unfolds, I guess we'll figure that out. It could be toxic energy, or it could be something as simple as you focusing on your material wealth. You have the reddening here too. The reddening, to put it simply, you see those two different metals coming together. And it is a coming together of sorts, but it is energy that's located within your heart, right? So honestly, just glancing at these cards, it looks like there's a lot going on at one time. But one of those things is most certainly some sort of relationship. And your heart is involved in your decision making this month. You have the laborer for your money card, and it says your hard work will be rewarded soon. And it also says don't be afraid of hard work. What lasts won't come easy, right? So definitely an indication that hard work may lie ahead of you this month, or an indication that your hard work will pay off, but you need to stick with it. You have, for love here, you have soulmate, twin flame, soul contract, soul connection, past lives. There may be somebody in your life that fits that description, and it's usually the person you thought about as soon as I said the word soulmate. It does say this person is unable to give you all you deserve, and honestly, that might be true overall, but this also just might be true for this month. This month may be a difficult month for your soulmate. Or difficult for the relationship in general. And this month, this person may be unable to give you what you deserve, and you obviously deserve it. All relationships do have ups and downs. But for many of you, excuse me, the person who you identify as your soulmate may not be giving you what you deserve in general. We'll clarify most of this stuff here. You do have at the beginning of the month, and it makes sense just glancing at your cards, you have the Seven of Cups, and that is definitely choices. You have a lot of choices ahead of you this month, and I think at the beginning of the month you start to become aware of them. There are some choices here, Leo, you don't want to make. You don't really feel like dealing with a certain aspect of your life that you're putting off. If you notice, this person is blindfolded and has two swords crossed in front of them as if to say, I don't want to see you. I don't want to deal with this right now. But the Spirit is trying to tell you that it is time to move on to another cycle here. Moving on to another cycle isn't always as ominous as it sounds. It doesn't mean picking up and moving sometimes. It doesn't always mean something major. It could just be your mindset that needs to move on. But the world is beckoning you, and the world is usually a positive move. So let's move on to your mid-month. We will clarify everything here at the end. The beginning of mid-month here, you have Temperance, which is Sagittarian energy. The Sagittarian energy that is here on the table is you trying to alchemize. You're trying to, you're trying to turn one thing into another. You're trying to alchemize something. You're trying to create something. You do have here the Three of Wands. You're also waiting for something. You're waiting perhaps for this thing to alchemize. You're waiting for this thing to come into fruition. You have the Ace of Swords coming in sideways. And as I say in all my readings, the sideways cards usually denote a choice. You have a choice as to whether you see things clearly here or not, Leo. You're a very smart sign. And I think that if you're not seeing things clearly, it's almost as if it's this Two of Swords energy saying, I don't feel like seeing that today. I don't even want to know about it type thing. That's mid-month. So when we move on to the end of the month here, you do have the Ten of Wands coming in sideways. And as we know, the Ten of Wands is at the highest stress card in the deck, but it's coming in sideways. So it's almost like a choice. Hold on. So sorry. I have very bad allergies this time of year. So yeah, the Ten of Wands is coming in sideways. So it's almost as if the stress is a choice as well. Um, you can choose to be stressed out about this, whatever's going on, or you could choose to just handle it and straighten out that sword and really see it for what it is and take it on. The choice will be yours. You do have here the Six of Wands in reverse. And I get the feeling that the Six of Wands is going to depend on these two cards, being that these two cards are choices. If you choose to see things a little bit more clearly, if you choose to alleviate your stress in a certain way, the Six of Wands can turn around. The Six of Wands is a victory card. Then again, if you choose to handle things incorrectly, if you choose not to see, if you choose to avoid type behavior, you may not have the victory you want, at least this month. You will have some sort of message coming in here at the end of the month. And if it wasn't important, it wouldn't be here on the table. So pretty interesting here, Leo. Let's shuffle up these cards and do some clarifying. And then we'll move on to your blessings and warnings for the month. So let's look at the beginning of the month for Leo. Beginning of the month for Leo, you have the Six of Pentacles. And on this side of the Six of Pentacles, you may be considering turning your back on something that, it's almost as if the Six of Pentacles is classically a card where one person is doing something for another, right? Sometimes it's balance is involved because there are usually scales on this card, but it's almost as if you're turning your back on something here. At least at the beginning of the month, you're putting it on a shelf. You're turning your back on it. Perhaps, the back to this card may indicate you just don't want to see certain things. And with the Two of Swords, I could see that you may not want to deal with something. To put it simply, you may just not want to deal with something at the beginning of the month. You have mid-month, too many cards, way too many cards. Okay, let's see. Mid-month for Leo, mid-month for Leo, mid-month for Leo. Yeah. Leo. Stubbornly hanging on to something. There's something you're stubbornly hanging on to tightly here. It looks like you don't want to. There may be people in your life that are trying to point you in a direction. You're turning your back on their ideas here, and you're holding stubbornly to your ideas. You may be right. You may not be right. It looks like you do have decisions to make in this area, but one thing I can say about the Leo readings that I've done is that stubborn seems to be an earmark of most of them. So let's look at the end of the month here. The end of the month. The end of the month for Leo. Yeah. See, remember when I said this is the highest stress card in the deck and it's a choice? This is you. It's like there's a lot of anxiety here. You have a lot of anxiety towards the end of the month for some reason here, Leo. Let's pull some of these other cards. At the bottom of this deck, you do have the 1111 card, the Four of Wands, and the Four of Wands is obviously a card of happiness. I think that's your goal, being that it's at the bottom of the deck. It might be, obviously, it's most of our goals, right? You just want to be happy. You just want to do what will make you happy. You just want what you want. And I think there are people, and I've seen it in your readings over and over, that want something different for you. Show me the beginning of the month for Leo here. You have a torch, spiritual development, awareness, and understanding. And I do think that here with this Ace of Swords, you have a shot at understanding something and becoming more aware. But it is a choice that each individual Leo will have to make this month. Some of you will turn this card right side up. Some of you will turn it upside down and hang on to this stubborn energy. It really is up to you, obviously. But there is an opportunity for you to see things a little bit differently if you decide to take it. Show me mid-month for Leo. Mid-month for Leo, you have two. You have the Club. Someone will try to make you do something against your will. Oh man, does that fit with this card or what? You holding on stubbornly to your idea, somebody trying to force their opinion on you about something, and this is a dark woman. Dealings or relationships with a woman with dark hair, complexion, or dark complexion or hair. Um, Interesting. There may be somebody like this in your life. It doesn't mean that the woman could be dark. Woman meaning dark in nature could be a dark woman that way, but it doesn't have to necessarily be a bad person. This is just someone who seems to get in your face mid-month and try to tell you what to do, try to force their will upon you. And I don't think it goes over well with you, Leo. It doesn't. You're not happy. And the center card here is you being stubborn. I do think you entertain it. I do think you entertain something. You're like, okay, I'll think about it. But that Leo energy seems to, I don't want, let's look at the end of the month. I'll take 2 cards. It says, haystack, you will reap what you have sown. And here you have celebration. So yeah, you will reap what you have sown goes with these sideways cards, right? They're choices you make. So whatever choice you make will have consequences. And I know that sounds vague and it probably sounds general, but it's just what's on the table. So if you make a choice, if you make one choice, you could really find great happiness this month. If you make another choice, you may be in this 9 of Swords energy where you feel anxious, unable to sleep, nervous. There is something here, I think, Leo, that you need to at least look at. I'm not telling you to listen to other people per se, but I do think there's a lot of ways to get the same result. There's a lot of different ways to get that result. Maybe you should look at a different way. Maybe this dark woman has a point, whoever she is. Maybe this dark woman doesn't have a point and you're just seeing that her point is just not for you and you're holding on stubbornly. And even though you may be right, it leads to some anxiety. If this person is your mother, that would be a lot of anxiety. If this person is your coworker, if this person is your boss, if this person is your girlfriend, your wife, if this person is important in your life and you see them a lot and you disagree with the way they're trying to tell you to do something, it will cause anxiety, whether they're right or not. Right? It just will. So you do have a choice. Your choice will depend on the outcome, and that's the bottom line there. So let's look at your warnings here. Your warning here, it says caretaking, the Empress. These cards here are tarot cards, but I use them not strictly. I use them mostly as oracle cards instead of tarot cards. And this is the caretaking side of the Empress, and this is a warning. Interesting. I'm trying to think whether it was Sagittarius or was it Aquarius? I don't know. There was another sign that got something very similar to this, but there is an Empress-like energy here in your life. This could actually be you, whether you're male or female. Somebody who cares for other people to their own detriment. Somebody who gives a lot of themselves to the point where there's not much left for them and their dreams, right? And here you have something that's inspiring, and you also have delusion. And I think we talked about that earlier in the reading. You don't delude yourself. I think you should turn that Ace of Swords around to where you see clarity. It's easy to delude yourself. And there is a fine line between dreams that you have for your life and delusions, right? So you have to sort of weigh that. So this delusional energy is a warning for you this month. And what is inspiring to you is also a warning. You may be inspired by something that may not be the best thing for you. Now, keep in mind, this is a month reading. It's not your life, right? It's not that you should question your own judgment constantly, but you may want to question some of the things that are giving you pleasure this month or become some things that are inspiring to you. You have here, let's look at your, you do have regret. Interesting. You have in your blessings column, You have regret. So interesting. This is fascinating. So you have something inspiring here that may be to your own detriment, and you have something that you may regret that may be a blessing in disguise. Keep that in mind. And here we just said the word consequences. Consequences are a blessing this month. There's consequences for your actions or someone else's. There's consequences that are going to happen this year. Choices. The magician represents choices in this deck. So there's choices and consequences and regrets that will all lead to some sort of blessing for you. So it's an extremely puzzling month in many ways. There's a lot of balls in the air. There's a lot of things going on, and there's a lot of mysteries here to unwrap because you have so many adverse things, right? You have the soulmate card mixed with unavailable. You have choices, you have consequences, choices, regrets. Sounds like, honestly, warnings in your blessings column, right? You have delusion, you have inspiration in your warnings column. There are things that may seem one way at first that end up being something totally different in the end. If you can get my meaning. So let's see. Let's clarify some of these other two. Pretty interesting. I'm used to seeing stuff like this in a Gemini reading, not a Leo reading. So let's see. Let's look at the warnings. Warnings for see, I almost said Gemini. Warnings for Leo. Warnings for Leo. Warnings for Leo. You have two. Yeah, warnings are it's you may be going to battle with someone this month. And when I say battle, it's not a huge war. It's the Five of Wands. It could be seen as competition for sure. But in your warnings column here, it looks like it could be arguing. It could be as simple as arguing. You do have the Seven of Swords, and that is a warning. So that could be a warning that someone around you is being sneaky, honestly, or it could be a warning that the warning for you not to be too sneaky. There is a warning here with the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords could be sneaky behavior coming from you or someone else, but there's a warning involved here. At least for this month. Show me the blessings for Leo. Show me the blessings for Leo. Blessings for Leo. The blessings for Leo is that you have the Seven of Wands, and the Seven of Wands on this side would be, somebody who takes one last stand, someone who's sort of stubborn, honestly. But on this side, in the blessings column, it's you putting down that wand and sort of relaxing with the taking of a stand. That there's choices, consequences, regrets, and then there's you laying down that wand saying, okay, enough. And that's a blessing. Enough of this. Enough of there might be some arguing. You did pull the devil overshadowing your whole month. Could be seen as toxic energy. Classically speaking, the devil are a pair of lovers chained to something toxic. Could be that you and your lover or you and your significant other have toxic energy between you this month. And just because you have toxic energy between you this month doesn't mean it's an awful relationship. For some of you, it absolutely could be. But being that this is also umbrellaing your month here, it is your heart that does come into play, Now, I'm going to say again that your hard work will pay off. The timing seems to be up in the air. For sure. The timing seems, because of these sideways cards, there are decisions that you have to make. Now, looking into your future here, you may be isolating. It says single. It doesn't say breakup, though. It says single. But it does say alone, isolation, lonely, guarded. It's this. You may be going into a situation where you need to spend time alone to accomplish certain things, not because it's this horrible situation, because and you do have the rebel here, and I do like that because we pulled this for Aquarius, and you know, you may have Aquarius highly aspected in your chart. You may just be tapping into this Pluto and Aquarius energy, but it says limiting beliefs are limiting your abundance, right? And I think we kind of talked about that a little bit. It says you're a trailblazer meant to pave the way for future generations. But the rebel always does remind me of Aquarius. And that is the energy you're moving into. You're moving into maybe spending some time alone to accomplish something, to do something here, Leo. And obviously it's going to be different for all of you, but there is something going on. And here we have denial, right? Detached to clearly see the truth. You're in denial about something. We talked about that sword. That sword's not right side up. There's something you're not seeing. You may not be seeing it purposely with that two of swords there. You may be just saying, I don't want to see it. I don't like what I see, so I'm not going to see it. You know, all of us have done it, right? There may be some negative feelings involved in this denial thing. There may be something negative that you just don't want to look at. You do have the Hierophant here in reverse, and with this Rebel card, I think it's you breaking free. Taurian energy, yes, but it may be you breaking free from some sort of doctrine that your family wanted for you. There are certain things your family wanted and expected from you that I think in the future you're just going to break away from. And with that Rebel card, it seems to be backing that up. There's a lot of stuff going on. Show me this warning. Show me the Seven of Swords warning column for Leo, please. Too many cards, Leo. Sorry. Warning. An arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. So are you the arrogant, boastful person, or is it someone that you're dealing with? You might be dealing with someone who is like that, and I don't know if they're boastful or not, but they could be very arrogant, and it's like my way or the highway type person. Maybe it's this dark woman that you're dealing with who tries to force you to do something against your will, something that you don't want to do, you know? It very well could be, Leo. It says somebody you should not cross, but it's maybe that's the way, it could be the way that they'd like for you to perceive them. They want you to perceive them as someone that you shouldn't cross, right? I don't think you're in danger here physically, but I do think that they come off like, hey, don't cross me. Or you're gonna, you know, like that kind of energy. Show me this last column here, please, for Leo. The Tower. And, you know, the Tower could be the Tower in Tarot, which is a demolishing of things, but this is in your blessings column, and it says success with effort. With effort. It looks like you're going to be putting in the effort, or you're going to at least understand that you need to put in the effort in the right way. You might be thinking outside the box here. This might give birth to some negative feelings when you finally see something that you didn't want to look at. I mean, in the future, you may not want to look at certain things this month, but you're going to have to look at things at some point here, Leo. Show me for Leo, please. You have completion. Remember, we saw the World card over there. The universe is begging you to basically complete a cycle. It's time to complete a cycle, and that's going to look different for all of you. And I told you, it doesn't have to be a giant major thing. It could be just your mindset that needs revamping. The way you're approaching your goals need revamping, you know. For some of you, it could be a very big change. But you've been told twice in this reading that it's really important to complete a cycle here. You may want to pay attention to your dreams. Your dreams you'll get messages in them. I got messages in my dreams about a month ago, maybe a little longer, and unbelievable messages. And I'm not one for prophetic dreams, honestly, you know. My dreams are like my salami sandwich talking to me about Nebraska. Like, it makes no sense, right? But about a month and a half ago or so, I had some really prophetic dreams. It was really a time where I was getting serious downloads, really strong messages. And I think you might be moving into that space. So really pay attention to your dreams. And when you wake up, write them down immediately. That's one thing I definitely came to understand is true. People tell you that. Keep a pen and paper by your bed. When you wake up and you're half asleep, you write down quickly what you dreamt about. And then when you fully wake up, you can look at it and do some research about what it might mean. And you might be surprised, Leo. For Leo, please. I love this for you. You are going to be fulfilled. You are going to have wishes coming true. You've seen it in reading after reading. It looks like you're hitting a speed bump here. And, your intention is everything. Creation, intention, the law of attraction. I think Leos are really, really good manifestors. Really good. And I think when they set their mind to it and they go about it the right way, they could pretty much manifest whatever they want. And here we go. Fire sign. There you are, Leo. Sagittarius pulled the same card. You as a fire sign, you have been identified in the reading. You have decisions to make. Yes, we definitely saw that in this reading. Decisions. I mean, the card that opened the month was choices, decisions. For Leo, you are forming a solid foundation, whether you realize it or not. When you make some of these choices and you go about things a different way, your foundation will solidify and you'll have something different forming under your feet, even if your direction is the same. And you have more fire energy. Mars, it's Aries energy for sure, but it is fire like yourself. And when you see Mars energy, this is like, watch out, world. Really just watch, just move aside, because I'm coming and I'm coming in hot. And it could be attraction. It also could be the law of attraction to your goal, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be sexual attraction, or it could be. Mars also represents going to war. Going to war could mean a lot of things. It could just mean having an argument with someone, and maybe you're arguing with this dark woman. I don't know. But there is somebody trying to force you to do something that you're either not ready for, you don't want to see, or you just don't want to do. And it might cause some Mars-like energy in your surroundings this month. You are going to have your harvest. We have pulled this card for you. You will have your harvest here this month, Leo, no doubt. You're not going to have your harvest this month. What you decide this month will dictate when your harvest is coming. I know in one of your other readings we did timing cards. Your harvest is coming, and yes, it might be the fall. This looks like this is an autumn card, right? You're moving into some love energy, though, next month. I forgot to finish doing that. You are moving into copper. Copper is the great conductor, right? Copper is conducive. It carries energy from one source to another. It's also very feminine energy. But I do think that you may be changing. It looks like you may be changing the way you're doing something, because even here, this is Virgo energy, but this is the Hermit, and this is being introspective by yourself. Remember, we talked about this, being alone, isolating yourself to get through a certain thing, or to maybe accomplish it may be, you maybe just be going about things differently. It doesn't look particularly easy, though, Leo. It doesn't look like you're having an easy month. Be sure your vanity and pride do not get in the way here. Can't say that enough. You may have a commitment, and maybe it is with this dark woman. I don't know. You may have some sort of commitment that gets in the way of something else here. And maybe you're battling that out. Yeah, you might be going through a dark night of the soul at some point this month. There may be a time in this month where you're down. It may have something to do with family. Remember, I just said commitment, right? There may be some commitment that you have made to a family member. a significant other, a job, it's even, it could be school. It could be anything that you have made a commitment to that sort of rears its head and begs you for attention this month. I don't know. It's going to be different for absolutely all of you. Give me one more for Leo, please. Yep. Love this for you. You have the sun. And I like ending it there. You have the sun at Leo energy, strength and empowerment. And in the end, that's going to be your energy, Leo. You're going to step into your own energy and be fine. It just looks like a difficult month for someone. I'll do one more here. You do have burrow. Yeah, look, burrow. What happens when you go into a burrow? When a rabbit goes into a burrow or someone burrows, right? Questioning motivations, realignment. Uh, you're you're isolating. These three cards are cards of isolation. And it's not that you're isolating because you're miserable and you just want to, not be around anybody because you're unhappy. It's more like you're isolating to find out answers or to do some work or to do something that you need to do. There's something you need to do for sure. Do let me know in the comments, Leo. Um, I will see you next time very shortly. I don't know. Next week, I think I'm going to be doing a quickie reading. I'm just not sure yet. Namaste.